this movie. Fuck this movie.
Come on, are you shitting me?
This is the worst fucking Marvel movie I've seen in so long. I hated this so fucking much.
I cannot disagree with you more. Let's reel it in.
Hot take alert, right off the gate. This movie was not written by a human. This was written by an algorithm on a computer in the basement of Marvel Studios where they took a shitty John Hughes movie and mashed it up with a shittier superhero movie.
Wow, I was not prepared for this. I loved this movie. I liked that there was no origin story right out the gate. We pick up right from Civil War. So there is something that's fun and unique to the idea of just jumping back into the universe that's been created.
This movie was not for Spider-Man fans. This movie was for Avengers fans who needed a loose end, who needed to spend $12 to nut at another superhero movie. The thing that really bogged this down for me was all of the high school bullshit that we've seen before. The whole like, oh, I have a nerdy friend and we're building a Star Wars figurine and there's my crush and like time slows down when I see her and I'm not comprehending what my friend is saying and like, oh, she has no personality.
It was very
we know her name, but that's about it.
She could have been a cardboard cutout the whole movie.
Exactly.
And nothing would have been different. Like somebody could have just like there's like a grip is like carrying her across.
Some just like fat bearded guy with like a Slayer t-shirt.
He's like eating a donut. I will give you this. It was almost a little too positive. Tobey Maguire was tortured. Mm-hmm. He was we got to see him gutted over the things that he did to sacrifice to be Spider-Man. Yeah. So I wish maybe this had a little bit more of that.
How does he balance these two lifestyles that he has? How does he balance being Peter Parker and Spider-Man? And this movie's solution is he just does and it doesn't matter. What I think this movie really tries to shove down your throat too, again, is the whole just the universe.
This is the first really big successful movie universe. To not call it out to it is also to avoid something that's we're all like, well, we know they're there. He's in New York. Avengers Tower is right there.
If you're not invested, these movies aren't for you. And it's not that it won't make sense if you haven't seen those movies, but it just seems so like
no, you know what,
like
that's a good point.
Why show all these videos of Captain America giving PSAs at the school and all that bullshit?
See, and you didn't like it. Like, that's the fans. We ate that shit up.
Exactly, it's fan fodder,
ate that
dude.
shit
It's
up.
fan fodder, and that's all it's
so
there
funny.
for.
Show me,
So this is my comic book based off of Spider-Man: Homecoming. Of course, it's my store brand version, Sticky Boy Dance Party. So this is Michael Keaton as Vulture. I put him on a Paper Mario character from a video game that I really enjoy, and he's saying, "Wow, fuck Tony Stark." Meanwhile, Iron Man is giving Spider-Man his suit, and again, I think Iron Man should swear. So he says, "Here's your suit, you little shit." And Spider-Man just says, "I love you."
I love how he's got
his head. Yeah, so he's a boy. He's 15. He should have fidget spinners.
If you're a fan of the fucking franchise, if you're a fan of Marvel movies, you're gonna love this.
But at the same time, there are better Marvel movies than this that this movie expects you to have seen. That's what's so fucking aggravating about this. Is they're like, we want to make billions. How do we do that? Quick. Algorithm script. Enter. Print the screenplay.
Nothing they say fucking actually matters.
No tension.
I mean, they just say everything they need.
Like, sure, the world building
There's no
is
show
okay,
don't tell. I mean,
but like,
it's just 100%. It's like
just
absolutely. Hold on. Stop. Shut the fuck up. What?
This movie was so hard to digest that it's hard to come to a final point.
I had never been bored by so much. This doesn't tell a story. It tells a world. This was the most empty noise.
City of a Thousand Planets.
City of a Thousand Planets. First of all, what does that mean? Like, I get what they're saying, but like, just because you have a fucking city with like citizens from all over the universe, you can't just say that's 1,000 planets. Like, we don't say America, country of 1,000 countries. Poor Dane DeHaan.
Oh my god, dude, he's 0 for 2 on our show.
This movie does nothing for show don't tell. They literally say out loud every character trait about Valerian.
Yeah.
He's a player.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, look at him. You have to be told that.
Right.
Because I'm not gonna think that. I'm sorry, Dane DeHaan, I think he's got like, I've described him as, he looks like a 12-year-old who hasn't slept in 12 years. When he puts that fucking suit on, he just looks like a kid trying on an outfit, like a costume.
He's like Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, exactly. Their dialogue was the most flat and 2D, just like their characters were.
The comic books are a little bit to blame for that because the comic books are nothing special in themselves. The comic books are amazing sci-fi stories, but they're also super campy in the way that the Legend of Zelda cartoon series is campy. Like, you almost imagine Valerian's voice like, "Whoa, hey, Laureline, that was a close one." Like, "Well, excuse me, princess." Like, you get that vibe.
That would work.
Because it would work because it's supposed to be fantastical.
Right.
This movie, I feel like we say this, it takes itself seriously, which is a phrase we say a lot on this show. I think Valerian meets actual Jessica Rabbit.
In the movie, she was there.
Was that?
You're
Okay.
right. That was definitely
Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit was a cameo in this movie. Why?
Why the fuck was Jessica Rabbit?
Luc Besson has held on to that for a long time.
They might as well have put Howard the Duck in too. Jessica Rabbit was there, and also Rihanna.
Okay, Rihanna.
Pump the fucking brakes, Luc Besson.
She's super talented and she's super beautiful. She also had no reason to
Did
be in
not
this
need to
movie.
be,
Which is Clive Owen,
Which is Clive
who has aged, I think, 30 years since we've last seen him.
Yeah.
We have a fat old Clive Owen
I
in this
did
movie.
not recognize
It took me
him.
a second. I'm like,
Yeah.
is that fucking shoot 'em up? Like, what the hell?
Yep. This movie is a series of disorganized scenes, and the only thing that holds it together is this very weak subplot of Valerian wanting to marry Laureline and the emotions behind that somehow carry to the end of the movie that involves actual genocide, which is the most absurd sentence I've ever said in my entire life.
If they had said that in the writers' room, you're like, maybe we should workshop this.
Yeah. I really respected this movie. Yeah.
That's a good word. That's a good word to use. I like the movie, but my problems with it aren't necessarily with the movie necessarily. It might be with the genre.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of the spy genre. I like simple things. I'm a structure guy. This movie lost me immediately. It was very difficult to follow. It doesn't make the movie bad. I was just frustrated because for a lot of the movie I didn't know what was going on and whose side anyone was on. Which again, another spy movie trope.
A better James Bond movie than the most recent James Bond movies. At least that's my initial hot take
Of this? I will agree with you 100% on that. I know you're a huge fan of those movies. I am not.
I love James Bond.
I am not a fan of those movies, but that's not to say they're not good movies.
Most of them are not, actually.
They actually are pretty good movies. I like a couple of them. And Charlize Theron's character of Lorraine Broughton, she parallels James Bond almost perfectly, but still they gave her a little bit of a little bit more personality and attitude.
Yes, a little more stank.
I'm gonna say this right now. It's not a hot take. It's just it's the way I feel, and I think it is a fact. James Bond's character is awful and not particularly well thought out.
No, he is exactly that. Yes. And James McAvoy did an amazing job in this performance.
He really did.
I was so happy to see him. Like,
he sold me on that part.
I want to say a little shame on Hollywood a bit for how they advertise this movie. This is not a sexy action shoot 'em up. But it does a good job to satisfy that though. But that's not the whole movie.
No, it's not the movie. You're right.
And I think one of the best things this movie does is realistic pain.
There are scenes where they're tussling and they want to kill each other. They physically can't.
Yeah.
They're catching their breath and they're trying to stand up, and you know they want to kill. Like if any one of them had the strength, they would kill them in a second.
Right.
And you believe that.
Yep.
But they can't.
What this movie has a lot of that you can cut through that the book does not is so much time-specific culture that really places you into the scene.
I feel like this movie also had like 2 versions of 99 Balloons.
No,
there was like
several different
There were
versions
several versions
of 99
of 99 Balloon Balloons.
Yeah, in English and in German.
And in German,
And like the
and
Red
then
Balloons version.
like a
and then
remix
the-
version. Wait, what? Did you do that? This movie had a lot of 80s music in it.
Yeah.
To the point where I was getting very annoyed by it. Watch it.
Yeah, please go see this.
I definitely think it's worth your time. It's just cool.
Yeah.
If anything, if you're confused, just sit it out.
Yeah.
It's worth the
Just
wait.
be
It's fucking
patient.
cool.
I've been really excited about this all month. I have the trophy in my back pocket right here.
You what? You have a fidget spinner.
Not just any fidget spinner.
Oh my god! It's Valerian! That's a Valerian V.
That's a Valerian V.
Where did you find this? How was this made? No, wait, you know what? This actually sums up the movie perfectly.
Yeah.
How do you use the, what do you do?
You literally just spin it, and then
do
it just perpetually moves.
Perpetually makes me mad.
Yes.
How do we choose a favorite this month? If we're talking about compromise,
So,
if
right.
you're adding up percentages, between the two of us, the trophy probably has to go to